Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on in. Come on in. It is your guy, Mark My Words. Relationship Q&A live tonight on a Wednesday. You understand? So, if you're from the East Coast, good evening. If you're from the West Coast, happy afternoon. All right? Come on in. We're going to discuss some real questions. Some sent in by some women, some sent in by some men. We're always going to come and talk about the man's perspective for the most part and try to figure out, solutions to some of these questions that people have. So if this is your first time with me, my name is Mark My Words. I run relationship content, masculinity content. We talk about fatherhood, honesty, spirituality, and a lot of other things that men deal with in today's world. So if you feel like something resonates with you and you want to dig a little deeper, I also offer private sessions. So go down the link, book a call with me, and we'll see if we can establish a relationship. If not, and you just want to email me a situation or you want to send me an email and ask me more about the one-on-one coaching, please do that. CoachMark22 at gmail.com. That is Coach Mark with a C, 22 at gmail.com. So thanks everybody for coming in tonight. We're going to get started in just a minute. All right. Now, so what I ask you to do is email me with your questions or your situations so that I can give you some advice on a live Q&A. All right. Now, sometimes it will be women that write in, but I will always give you advice from a man's perspective and help you understand men a little better. Right. Now, men, obviously, when you write in, I'll help you with the advice and give you better ways to deal with women in your relationship or your partners, whatever that might be. All right. So just make sure we're clear on that. But it is an open forum. And I like when people write in and ask questions. The main thing that's important about people being open and transparent about their questions is that we all go through a lot of situations, right? And we keep them bottled in. When we hear someone bring up the question in a different form or something that we're scared to talk about, and then we are able to listen to the advice as well, that really helps us and allows us to know that we're not alone, number one, and that also there are answers for our questions, because sometimes we're in situations and we don't feel like there's answers. You know what I mean? So uh write in your questions, man, and I will get to them probably in the same week, be honest with you. All right, I'm on here Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, that is Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So let's go ahead and get it started without no further ado, man. First question, uh email was titled Early Red Flags. Hi, coach. I recently started seeing someone, and I think things seem good on the surface, but I've noticed a few small things that I feel are off. He can be inconsistent with communication, sometimes avoids real conversations. I don't want to overthink, but I also don't want to ignore something I'll regret later. What are the red flags I should never ignore early in a relationship? Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now, noticing red flags, man, that's important. Okay, it's very important to notice red flags. We will ignore red flags because we really like somebody, and that goes for both genders. But we will ignore a lot of red flags because we like someone. We like other things that they do. We like hanging out with them. They pay attention to us, so on and so forth. We'll ignore things that if we saw our friend dating somebody who exhibited those flags, we will call them out. Okay. So, what you have to understand about a man, you said something about being inconsistent with communication. Okay. Sweetheart, if you are dating a man who has a mission and he has things to do and he has things to take care of and he's on his grind, he don't have all day to be talking to you. He does not have all day to be talking to you. The men I work with, one of the first things I ask a man that I'm working with is, what is your mission? What do you do all day? What is your mission? What is your passion? What do you do all day? And if he says, I don't know, I tell him that's probably why your relationship is in shambles, because you don't have a mission. Honey, his mission can't be you. You understand? So if his communication is a bit inconsistent, it should be because he's busy doing things that he needs to be doing as a man. Like if he's a fireman, he needs to be out fighting fires, not texting you all day. You understand? Now, if you're hitting him and he's not hitting you back, if it's days and you haven't heard from him, that's different. Because, sweetheart, trust me, if we like you, we're going to contact you. We're going to contact you if we like you. All right? but you can't expect for him. Let's just say he has a physical job. Let's say he drives a dump truck, right? And you sit at a desk all day. You text him at 8 a.m. and it takes him 45 minutes to hit you back or just to read it. That 45 minutes seems like a long time to you because you're sitting at a desk. He's busy driving a dump truck and dumping dirt or dumping whatever it is he got in that dump truck. You understand? So the communication can be inconsistent just because of what he's doing. And again, if he's a man of some type of mission, if he has some type of mission, sis, he does not have all day to be talking to you. Now, you said that he also avoids real conversations. Okay? He avoids real conversations. A lot of us men guard our feelings because someone took advantage of our feelings at some point. So let's just say the man's 30 years old. At some point in his 30 years of life, somebody took advantage of him telling them about his feelings. So when it's time to have real conversations now, he might shut down or just avoid it because he doesn't want to go down that road again. He doesn't know you like that. He does not know you like that. If you just started seeing, he doesn't know you like that, sis. And so what we're not going to do is spill all of our business, all of our past, how we feel about everything. We're not going to give you that early. And honestly speaking, we're taught as men to not lead with our feelings anyway, because that seems to be a red flag at times. But if he was a guy I was coaching, I would say, hey, bro, you tell her what she asked you. And if you don't feel like talking about stuff, don't talk about it yet, because you don't know her like that. You don't know her like that. Now, you asked about a couple red flags that you should not be ignoring in the beginning. I would say a huge red flag for a man is if he lies to you. If you're like catching him in lies, if he's saying I got to work till 12 o'clock and then you see him somewhere at 9, you know he's a liar. You understand? That's a huge red flag. If a man can't give you a definitive answer about his relationship status, that is a huge red flag. Any of the guys in my circle, any of the guys that I work with privately, we're honest about our relationship status. If he's dating 8 women, he need to say, sis, I'm dating 8 women. It is what it is. You trying to be number 9? All right. So a dude that lies or he doesn't tell you the truth about his relationship status. Okay. Or how about this? A guy that's always breaking plans with you. Another thing that we talk about as masculine men is keeping your promises. You understand? So if that man can't keep his promises in the beginning, he's probably not going to keep them 3 months from now, and he's not going to keep them 6 months from now. So, but you never said anything about any of these things. You just said the communication is not what you need it to be. So I would say talk to him a little bit and just tell him that you need a little bit more communication. But I'm trying to help you understand that men don't have all day to be talking to y'all. Okay? If he's a man who's on a mission and got stuff to do, got bills to pay, he might got a kid or 2. He don't have all day to be talking to you. That doesn't mean that you won't hear from him for days. But he can't talk to you 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11:30, 12:45. He don't have time for that. All right? But great question. I'm glad you wrote in too. I really appreciate that. If you have a question or a situation like sis did, please email me, coachmark22@gmail.com. All right. Now, this one is from one of my guys. It's called, he titled it, Fixing What I Broke. Mark, I made a mistake in my relationship that hurt her deeply. I've apologized and I'm trying to show her I'm serious about doing better, but I feel like I'm hitting a wall. How do I rebuild trust after I mess up? And is it even possible if she says she's still unsure? That's a great question. Now, bro, you didn't really say how you messed up. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you probably got caught with another female. All right. So forgive me if I'm wrong about that, but you didn't really give the details. So normally when you make a mistake that is hard for a female to get over, it has something to do with another chick. All right. Cool. All right. So listen. Bro, don't let yourself ever think there was ever a dude in history that didn't mess up once or twice. Your granddaddy messed up. Your daddy messed up. His granddaddy messed up. Your uncles messed up. Your neighbor messes up. Your boss messes up. Playboy, That's a part of life. We're going to make mistakes. Now, should you make the same mistakes over and over again? No. But you make a mistake, and even if it was with another woman, some people wouldn't call it a mistake, but let's just say we're calling it a mistake tonight. You made a mistake. You can't keep making it over and over again, but understand that every man messes up. Okay? Now, you apologize for it. And you're trying to show her that you're apologetic. One thing I do not prescribe, bro, is for you to be saying you sorry for 6 months. You shouldn't have to say you sorry for you know it's women out there that have been getting cheated on for a decade and they still with that man. Do you understand that? Now I don't want you to be the guy that's cheating on your lady for a decade, but bro, when a woman like you enough, when she loves you enough, one or two slip ups, one or two mess ups is not going to drive her off. One or two mess ups is not going to have you sleeping on the couch for 3 months, 6 months. Because I see this a lot. A lot of you guys are hitting me up talking about, hey, Mark, I messed up real bad, man. And it was like a year ago and she still reminded me of it. She don't like you that much. Or if she liked you that much, she's now turned off so much that you can't get her back. You can't get her back. Because women live in a different type world than we live in, bro. They actually want to believe that even though you told them you did something, you didn't really do it. They really want to believe that you would never touch another female, or if you did, you don't have no feelings for her. So, bro, the fact that you're trying, and I could tell by the words, oh, bro, I've been trying to let her know I'm apologetic and I feel bad about, I'm already knowing what that means. You're doing a whole bunch, flowers, trips, dates. She acting funny. She might not be giving you none. Hey, listen, Playboy, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to give it a time limit. And there ain't nothing wrong with telling her, hey, listen, sis, you got about 30 more days. I'm be apologetic for about 30 more days. Because and let her know if at the end of 30 days, sis, we have a talk and you not feeling what's going on, then we got to start making plans to look elsewhere. Because, bro, what you gonna do? Live the next 5 years of your life being apologetic? Huh? What part of a masculine man do you think is filled with being apologetic? Now, yes, you have to say sorry if you made a mistake. Absolutely. And you have to try to correct it. But, bro, you can't correct the fact that you had your hand down somebody's pants. You cannot. The only thing you can do is wash your hands, Playboy. That's the only thing you can do. But you can't take it back. You can't go back in time. But what will end up happening is there'll be a shift of power if you're standing around trying to make this girl feel like she's Queen Bee and that you're just a peasant and that you have to kneel at her feet for the next 9 years of your life, bro. She won't respect you after that. It's sad, but it's true. All right. Now, you said, how do you rebuild the trust? Okay. How do you rebuild the trust? And is it even possible if she's unsure? So I kind of answered the last part already. But how do you rebuild trust? Keep your promises. Bro, every man I coach, I talk to him about keeping promises. I don't even know if he breaks them. Keep promises. You say you're going to the store for 5 minutes, bro, be back in 5 minutes. You say you're going to work and you're going to work some overtime, dog. She has to believe that incident was the only time you lied, and that incident was the time that you didn't keep your promise. Not, oh, here he go again. He don't never keep his promises. He's always lying. Because, bro, she's going to believe you're always going to be a liar. So you rebuild the trust by keeping your promises. I would say work on that more than being super apologetic all the time. Trying to buy her love back, bro. You shouldn't have to do that. Women are built different than us, bro. They don't get that turned off when they get cheated on, not like we do. We ready to blow up the whole city. You hear me? They can take it a little bit. They can take it a lot better than us. So, bro, you shouldn't have to apologize for the rest of your life. All right. But you should have to rebuild the trust. And you do that by keeping your promises. The smallest, I'm talking about, if you say I'm finna cut the grass at 7:05, have your ass outside at 7:05. You understand me? And that's how you rebuild the trust. But tell her in 30 days, hey, I'm not gonna be on bended knee the rest of my life. You gotta give it a time limit, homie. All right. But that was a great question. And thanks for being transparent. Because you and every other dude in this room has messed up. You understand? or they about to mess up. Some of them think about messing up right now, you know? So, again, if you have a submission like his, all right, make sure you email me at coachmark22@gmail.com. I thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Now, we got another one. I think this is from one of my women. Why do I keep choosing emotionally unavailable men? Hey, Coach Mark, I've been in several relationships where the men I choose can't seem to show up emotionally. It's like I'm doing all the work, hoping that they'll eventually open up, but it never really happens. Why do I keep attracting emotionally unavailable men, and how do I break the pattern? It's actually a really good question. Now, I know I say that all the time, but they are actually, because I feel like a lot of people go through the same stuff. So whenever somebody writes in and poses a question that I think other people go through, it's a really good question because a lot of people are going through that. Now, emotionally unavailable. Most men don't really know what that term means, honey. Now, I'm a little unclear on it myself. I'm not even gonna hold like that's not really a term that we use. You understand? I hear women use it a lot, and that's okay. It means something to you guys. I'm just gonna say that it maybe means he doesn't show much emotion, right? And he's not giving you emotional responses to things, even in a positive way. Like, let's just say you take him somewhere and you buy him dinner. He says thank you, but you're expecting him to be a little bit more excited about it, or, maybe return the favor. You know what I mean? So when you say emotionally unavailable men, I think that you're talking about maybe the love they show you, perhaps, right? Or again, the emotions that they should be showing you. Like the first question that we had tonight, sis, it's so many of us who, to stay focused and to stay on our purpose and mission, we can't let emotions lead us because we won't get anything done. And so when it comes to dating and relationships, if we're emotional about the fact that she went out to a club and I wanted to hang out with her, if we get emotional about the fact she didn't call me back until the next day when I called her the night before, if we get emotional about the fact that it seems like I've been taking her out now for 3 months and she ain't give me none, we become a turnoff. We become a turnoff. So what we do is we build up this wall and we say, no matter who I'm dating, no matter who I'm dealing with, I'm going to keep my emotions to myself. I'm not going to let all my emotions out. I'm not going to be super lovey-dovey with this chick too early. I'm not going to do it. Because a lot of times, man, I'm going to be honest with you, there are women that we come in contact with in our early days, right? A lot of us are early 20s because we just be bouncing around from chick to chick. You already know. So we get done wrong. And when we get done wrong, we don't forget about that. It's hard for men to shake that. Women can shake that. It's very hard for us. So again, let's build up the wall. And I'm not going to give anybody my emotions like that next time. I'm not doing it, especially not super early. I'm not going to do it. So, of course, you have a type. There are men that have traits and habits that you look for, that you're drawn to. So those men probably exhibit habits or traits that go along with men who try to keep their emotions intact. Men who are all about their mission, all about their work, all about their purpose. Men who have been hurt before, perhaps, right? So they walk different, they talk different, they handle their business different, and you're attracted to that man, the positive qualities of him. You know what I mean? So I can't say that you're not going to keep coming in contact with those men. What you have to do is develop a better understanding of that type of man and know that it's not personal. It's normally not personal. If you ask a guy, oh, why don't you call me back every morning? Or why don't you call me right before you go to bed? He's most likely going to give you a general answer. Oh, I don't call women after a certain time. Oh, I'm at work in the morning and I don't like being taken off my square so early, so I wait till lunch. It's not personal. You probably look at it like it's personal, like they're treated. But if it's been a couple guys, obviously the men you are selecting are guys who don't lead with emotion, and they don't let emotions take over their situations. So I don't think you're picking the wrong guys. I think you have the wrong understanding of the men. Okay. Now, if they don't have time for you, if they don't have any love for you, if they show you no attention, then that's not good. I don't care if they were telling you about their emotions or not. That wouldn't be good. But if they have time for you, if they're spending resources on you, then they obviously are fond of you, but they might not be so trusting and so willing to, be vulnerable so early. That's what I would think. All right. But that was a really good question. Okay. Now, fellas, we have to understand that women want us to communicate and they want us to show some emotion about some things. I know it is very tough to figure out when, where, and how to show emotion, because we are taught that only weak men show emotion, and you're going to lose your strength, and she's not going to fool with you like that. But we can't be stiff as a board, bro. You can't be a mannequin. All right. You can't be somebody that shows no emotion about anything, because if she thinks you don't care about anything, it's going to be hard for her to understand that you care about her. All right. But that was a good one. Now we got another one from one of my guys here. Too nice too soon. It was a question. Too nice too soon. Coach, I've noticed that when I start off guarded, women chase me like crazy. But as soon as I start showing that I care more or I want something serious, they start pulling back. Why does it feel like women lose interest when I get more emotionally invested? That is a very, very good question, my boy. Okay. Let's see. When I start off guarded, women chase me like crazy. That is because, sir, a woman likes a man who has a purpose. Okay. So when you start off guarded, or you don't call too much, or you don't bug them all the time, they like it. You're intriguing. You're a mystery. What is he doing all day? What has he got going on? He's interesting. Where is he at that he's not returning my calls or my text messages? He's not reacting to things I say. That's very interesting. It's intriguing. You understand? You become intriguing when you don't respond a whole lot. You become a mystery a bit, right? Not that you're keeping secrets, but if you're always answering, if you're always answering on the first ring, if you're always answering text messages, if you're always available, you are not a mystery at all. There's nothing to guess. You understand? So women chase you like crazy. Now, when you get into the situation, you said, I start showing that I care more and want something serious, they start pulling back. Because this is the problem. Okay? And I hear guys like you, listen, man, and I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. But I hear this a lot. Because you're playing the game. You're not being authentic with it. Okay? The difference is you're starting off super guarded and you're not answering text messages and you're taking a while to call back. And when she asks to do something, you act like you got something to do. And at the last minute, you're playing a game. You understand? That's not really you. So then, as soon as the real you comes out, and they notice that you like them for real, you do a 180. You go from not answering text messages for an hour and a half to now you're double texting before they respond. Before you was acting like you had stuff to do and you ain't know if you could make plans on Saturdays. Now you're trying to make plans 4 months ahead. It's too drastic of a change. And the reason why the change is drastic, buddy, is because you were playing a game in the beginning. See, if you were authentically doing it because that's how you felt about the girl, then it wouldn't be such a 180. You understand? See, bro, I get it. Because we all take tips from a lot of these videos we watch, a lot of the books that we read, some of the courses that we take. A lot of us take notes and we try to emulate what we've been taught, okay? Instead of making it what we are. And how you make it what you are is if you actually are busy in the morning and you have your phone turned on do not disturb because you're in the gym, and you put a timer on your phone for 60 minutes until so that you'll know when to get back to her. That's what you're doing. And again, I've seen this before, bro, because when it changes so quickly, the chick is now surprised and like she's kind of confused, and she's like, this is a little weird. She can sense, bro, that you liked her the whole time, but now I realize you were playing games, because how'd you go from 0 to 60 real quick? How did it change like that? It changed like that because you weren't being authentic in the beginning. So it said, why do women lose interest when I get emotionally invested? They were getting used to the guy you were in the beginning, right? So they might have, some of them might have liked that. Oh, I like that he's not always available. I like that he's a little bit of a mystery. You heard me tell that girl right before this question. You heard me tell her, women like it when you're a tiny bit of a mystery, sir. So if they're getting used to that, let's just say it's for 3 months. Then boom, you hit month number 4, and it's flowers every day. And it's, oh, I love you. I care about you so much. Can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. You switched up too much. So what I would say is, be authentic about who you are from the door. And if you think that being authentic is not working with the women, that selecting the wrong women, because if a woman likes you, I don't know if it's going to matter how much you call her, right? Now, as I'm saying that, if you don't have a mission, bro, if you're not at the gym, if you don't do some volunteer work, if you're not on your grind, if you don't have stuff going on, if you don't have a circle of men that you hang out with from time to time, you will be too available. You will be answering the calls too often. You understand? But that lack of communication should come from you actually doing positive things. But if you're selecting women who like you as much or more than you like them, it won't be a turnoff when you become emotionally invested. It won't become a turnoff when you show that you care. That won't happen. You're probably selecting wrong, and you're playing games in the beginning. So not only are these women not getting to know the real you right up front, most likely, once you show them the real you, they wouldn't. You could have showed them the real you in the beginning, bro, and save some time and money and some energy. Be authentic. But again, if you feel like you're too available, if you feel like you show you care too often, if you seem like you are too emotionally invested too early, that's because you don't have enough going on in your life. You don't have enough going on. And bro, we all been there. Myself included. So there's some things you should be doing to keep you busy so that you're not too available and you can't get too emotionally invested too fast. A man with a mission and a purpose, bro, he doesn't have enough time. There's only 24 hours in a day, bro. He don't have enough time to be emotionally invested in somebody before they are with him. You understand? So be authentic. But how you be authentic is build your life so that you're somebody to admire, and you won't have to play games, bro. You won't have to play games. But again, thank you for being transparent and asking a real question, because there are tons and millions and hundreds and thousands of dudes going through that same thing right now. All right. So that's a real good question. So let me see here. I think I got one more for this evening before we leave it. All right. Let me see here. Got another one from one of my guys, man, for the last one of the evening. Staying masculine without control. What's up, coach? I believe in being a strong, grounded man in my relationship, but I also don't want to come off as controlling. How can I lead without dominating or making her feel like I'm trying to run her life? I think that one, matter of fact, guys, I think I already answered that one. So that must have got back in the situation. Okay. This is the one I actually meant to read. Yeah, I did that one 2 days ago. So Yeah, I did that one 2 days ago. So my fault on that. So got another one asking for more intimacy. Hi, coach. I love my man, but I wish we were more connected emotionally and physically. I've been nervous to bring it up because I don't want him to feel like he's not enough. How do I tell him I want more intimacy without hurting his pride? Hmm. All right, all right, all right. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is a good one. So I'm taking from what you're saying that you love this man, um, but you guys are not connecting in the intimacy department. And that doesn't always mean sex. Guys, we hear intimacy, we go right to the bedroom with our thoughts. Right to the bedroom with our thoughts. I think intimacy is you guys spending alone time, you guys opening up to each other, massages, foot rubs, watching movies together, taking long walks, holding hands. Obviously, sex is involved in that as well, but it could be, you know, just lotioning up together at the end of a bath or whatever. There's a lot of things that are included in intimacy. Okay, so it seems like what she's saying is that she's not getting enough of it from her man, and I would imagine that's hurting him in the bedroom as well. Okay, so sis, listen. One thing I can tell you about men is that boys, okay, boys that are raised by fathers, okay, I have 4 boys. We don't teach them about intimacy. We teach them how to fix cars. We teach them how to be good students, good athletes, good human beings, perhaps. We teach them how to do chores, cut grass, trim trees, shoot a gun. We rarely we rarely show them how to treat women. It's normally boys don't want to talk to dad about, you know, dating women and what you should do when you're on a date with a woman and how you should be in a relationship and how you should give up emotional like you we don't do that with our boys. So the reason why I'm saying this is that so many of our men are getting into these adult relationships at in their 20s, right? Because if they went to college, if they were in the military, right? If they were just out here dangling, they're bouncing from chick to chick. A lot of times they're not in serious relationships. So they might not be in a serious relationship till 26, 27. Okay? If he's in his 30s, let's just say 31, 32, he might not have a lot of experience in relationship. He's experienced with dating and sex, but not experienced in relationships. So I get this question a lot, and it's like he doesn't know how I'm craving intimacy from the man. Yeah, when he wants to have sex, he wants to have sex, but after that, there's no intimacy for 48 hours. There's no intimacy for 72 hours. And he just expects me to be ready for sex again soon. Seems like that's what you're going through. Now, I wasn't trying to give the man an excuse, but depending on how he was raised, we don't get taught in those areas. Now, there's some of us who had sisters, who had a mother there, that we kind of were groomed on how to treat a woman. You understand? But if he was grown up in a super masculine household, had a bunch of boy cousins, perhaps, if he was around a bunch of boys running around outside all the time, those areas might have been skipped. Okay. So let's just say they were. And I'm just telling you that so you can maybe better understand. Okay. Now, that was just a possibility. But regardless, you're not getting the intimacy that you would like. We can't read your mind. I know we should be able to because we should have superpowers. But we really don't, sis. We really can't read your mind. And so if you don't talk to him about wanting more intimacy, he might think things are fine. He might think things are fine. Oh, well, we have sex a couple times a week, or we have sex once, twice a week. Whatever, we good. Well, you got guys that I'll ask them about, well, how is your intimacy in your relationship? And they'll say, oh, yeah, bro, we do it a lot. And what you mean do it a lot, bro? It's all day? Or no, I mean like every other day. And so I end up having to tell them, hey, bro, yeah, that's like 4 hours a week. But what about the rest of the week? There's 164 hours in a week, I believe. So what do you do the rest of the week? You have to explain to him what intimacy means to you, because we don't know. And it changes with every woman. It changes with every woman. So he might have a lack of relationship experience. He might not have been shown much about the intimacy department growing up as a young boy. And every woman is different. He might think that intimacy is taking you out to eat once in a while. But for you, intimacy might look like a foot rub every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday afternoon. Huh? Intimacy for you might be watching rom-coms in the bed under the covers so y'all can play footsie. You understand? Now, obviously, sex is part of it. But what I'm guessing is that you guys aren't having a lot of sex because you aren't super turned on, because the intimacy is lacking in other areas. So you're maybe not coming on to him. He's feeling the energy. You guys aren't having sex enough. Normally, when a woman complains about intimacy issues away from the bedroom, that means the bedroom issues are there as well. You have to explain to him in detail what intimacy means to you. Because honestly, sis, we don't care nothing about intimacy. We care about sex. Okay? If we can have sex without intimacy, that we are all right with that. That's why they fool with prostitutes and strippers. Because they're cool with having sex without intimacy. We don't really need the intimacy. It's cool. But it's like a lot of other things we do for you. We'll do it for you. But if you weren't around, we would be chasing sex. That's what we would be doing. So you have to explain to him what that looks like. Oh, babe, I'd like to take a bath with you once a week. I'd like to take a walk at night when the stars are out and we're holding hands and it's just us, no phones. I'd like to put on some slow music on the back patio and slow dance like we're in junior high. So you got to tell him that. I'd like to make out sometimes. I like it when you feel on me in public and kiss me on my cheek in front of everybody. Like, and again, sis, he just might not know it. And normally, when that communication is had, when you're able to let him know what you like and what you do not like, at least he's aware now. Oh, okay. Once a week, a bath. Okay, about every other week, a massage. Oh, she likes flowers? I didn't even know she likes flowers. I mean, I know she likes to plant flowers. I didn't know I needed to buy some. She got some out in the garden. Okay, I'll buy some. Oh, I didn't know that making time. Oh, I got to turn the sports off in the bedroom and watch a romantic movie. Okay, I got it. Normally, that's a response we get because again, he's concentrating on a whole bunch of man things. And he's been doing that probably for a long time. So it's a good chance he just doesn't know. All right? So I would say communicate exactly what intimacy is to you. And hopefully he will follow suit and start doing some of the things that you initiate. All right? But the communication is the key. And just understand that most likely he's not doing it on purpose. Because our mission is always normally, we think intimacy equals sex. That's how we look at that. And it's obvious that you don't. Okay? But good question, though. Good question. Now, that is the last one for tonight, guys. You have to understand something. With these emails that come in, with these questions and situations that come in, it allows me to give people advice. But it allows me to also communicate to you about some things that you might be going through in your relationship. So always come back and tune in, because most likely we're going to talk about something that you're going through in your life right now, right? Or something that you've been through or you might go through. Okay? If you are somebody that has a situation, and we all have situations, please feel free to email me, coachmark22@gmail.com. That is Coach Mark with a C, 22@gmail.com. Now, if you are somebody who these questions resonated with you, or some of the advice resonated with you, and you feel like you need some one-on-one attention to get some coaching to help yourself through some of these situations, if that is you, go down the description, book a consultation call with me. We'll get on the line and talk about it. Maybe we need to establish a relationship. Maybe we need to talk once a week. Maybe we need to talk once a month. However it is, we can figure out whether or not we're a good fit, and that we can establish a relationship and get you closer to where you need to be with whatever situation you're in. Okay. Now, I'm going to come on here Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. The questions are going to get a little bit more deep. We're going to get into some deeper topics, talking about some vices, talking about some spirituality issues, honesty, integrity, respect issues, all the things that men go through, and a lot of the things we go through in relationships with our women. All right. So if you got somebody that might get some value out of a channel like this, share the episode with them. That's all I ask you to do. All right. But I always appreciate you spending your time with me, bro. Your time is valuable, and so is mine. So that means a lot when I get to spend it with you, just talking about everyday problems that we have as men. All right. So thanks to the women that wrote in and brought your submissions in. Please keep doing that, because honestly, it's nice to talk to men and work with men, right? But it's really, really good to hear from women to let us know what we need to work on. And that's just what it is. All right. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in with your boy. It is your guy, Mark My Words, man. That's it for tonight. Have a good one.